One of the things we like to do in my school is called scenario sparring. Now this isn't really a new concept or anything, it's just something that I like to do with my students. Basically what you do is you do a sparring session, but you limit yourself to a specific scenario. Now we're focusing right here on one called towing the line. Tow the line is basically you want to stay close to your partner, you don't want to use too much footwork, and you want to be very attentive to distance and timing. So the whole idea is that with one step across the imaginary line you can reach him. Whether it's punching or kicking doesn't really matter, but you basically stay as close as you can to that line. Another thing you'll notice is that we're really not working all that hard. We're not going full power, full speed, because that's not really what you want to do here. This is just focusing on a specific concept, namely finding that right distance for towing the line. Now I'm working with Chris here. Chris just came off a long absence because he was injured in a competition, so he's getting back in the swing of things. One of the things I'm working with him beside towing the line is he was having a little bit of the difficulty judging distance with his straight punches, so I'm punishing him as much as I can by crossing over with a kick to the body if he doesn't do it correctly. So you'll see a couple of those. Basically what I want to do with students is make sure that they work on specifics that are important to them, and in this case there you see another kick to the body. It was working on the straight punches. This is Nicola. Now Nicola's been training with me for a little while. The main thing that we're working on here is putting a little bit of pressure on him. That's what I want to do here, because of the reach difference he usually has a little bit of trouble getting closer by, and he's mainly using his footwork to get around people. So we're doing towing the line, so he has to stay pretty much in front of me and close to me, and at the same time I'm going to try to make it difficult for him using many straight punches and a couple of roundhouse kicks to keep him a little bit at distance. So give him a little bit of pressure and make sure that he tries to get close while being very cautious at the same time. Another thing you'll notice is that I'm really not countering my students all that much. I'll do something every now and then, but not really as much as I would if we were fighting for real or sparring a little bit harder. The whole idea is that they have to do most of the work, and I'm just a sparring partner for them to make sure that they get the most out of it. The reason why I gave him that side kick was mainly because I saw that he wasn't paying attention. His focus was a little bit gone there, so I wanted to make sure that he woke up again while we continued sparring. What I'm doing right now is putting a little bit more pressure on Nicholas to make sure that he is used to that and is forced to find some solutions. So what I'll do is try to use single techniques a lot and put some power there. At the same time I'm almost gonna jump forward so he feels the pressure. Basically what I want to see is how he reacts to that now. We'll do a couple of steps backwards, and I'm going to use that against him in a bit, because he gets used to going backwards and then stepping forwards again, which is while the leg sweep you'll see in a bit is going to work. This is Jeremy. He's in his first year of training with me, and basically what I'm working with him is trying to make him feel that he's a little bit flat-footed. His base is a little bit too low and too big. So what I'm gonna do is shoot him with a couple takedowns, just relaxed, but still making sure that he feels that that I can get him easily, because his footwork isn't fast enough because of the way that he's holding his fighting stance. Here you see one of them. At the same time, it also makes him less mobile, and it makes it easier for me to throw him. I'm going to do a sweep a little bit later on. So basically I want him to feel that he's not really standing as lightly as he could, with all the results that come from that and openings that it gives me. That's one thing. At the end I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on him with my leg kicks, just to make sure that he gets used to being hit, which is an important part in the process of training up a fighter. Now, another thing you'll notice is that I'm leaving plenty of openings for all my students that they're supposed to spot. Sometimes I'm just dropping my guard a little bit too much, or I'm not tucking my chin in when I punch. I'm also telegraphing a lot of stuff so that they're supposed to pick up on it. Now, sometimes I try to make it pretty obvious depending on who I have in front of me. Other times a little bit less obvious, and the camera doesn't always pick up on it, but the main idea is that they should actually see the openings, or at the very least look for them. As you can see, I just pick him up and put him back down again. There's really no upside in slamming him down once I get the throw, so we don't do that. If we're doing scenario sparring, we want to stick to the scenario as close as we can. In this case, towing the line, staying close, and with the added training for Jeremy here is that I want to make him aware of the weakness. What you see right here, the widened stance, the deep stance, he's a little bit too flat-footed, so I can sweep him easily, which is why I did a couple of inside leg sweeps as well. Now obviously, if I'm training a student or a fighter for an upcoming fight or a competition, we would do the same type of scenario sparring, but we would crank up the intensity a lot, because you have to be ready for your fight. The other guy is not going to hold back, so we would eventually do this a lot harder, but that's not what we're doing right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll put up a couple more and hope you enjoy those too.